So I'll tell you what my first project was. And if you have heard of this name, it's called Ispat Industries. So Ispat Industries is a steel company. It also used to be called Nippon Denro Ispat in those days. So this company will get the iron ore, and then from the iron ore they will manufacture steel. So if you ever been to any iron ore place, you might have seen the water is all red because of the ferrous oxide, right? So the way, but for the time it interacts with some chemical, and that chemical, once it is done, it needs to pass through the pollution control equipment. So that is the pollution control equipment that we were supposed to first figure out what are the requirements and then deliver for that client.
There was a campus placement?
There was no campus placement. There was no campus placement in my college.
But there was a concept like campus placement.
There was a
companies were coming inside.
There was a concept, but it was limited to 2 or 3 premier colleges, which were also government colleges. And again, not everyone got placed. Like it happened, let's say, a few years later, where companies are just looking for people, right? Whoever is available. Such concept did not exist.
But the concept of corporate existed, because there is a concept of corporate, right? I mean, because the companies were either proprietorship.
Yeah, we had corporate companies. For example, we had, let's say, Mahindra. Mahindra is also based out of Mumbai. So Mahindra has 2 divisions. One is a tractor manufacturing division, one is a jeep manufacturing division. In those days, I'm talking about. So in Mumbai, they had the tractor manufacturing. In Nasik, they had the jeep manufacturing. So Mahindra used to be one of the companies that everyone wanted to work with,
be part of.
Yeah. Of course, Tata Motors was always there because that's also based out of Maharashtra, right? And then we had all these steel companies, right? That was the goal, to be in one of these large companies. But what happens when it comes to campus placements is, at least in those days, right? The criteria was that to be eligible for placements, you had to get a first class throughout. First class is 60%.
From every semester,
From every semester.
Okay. Not the average or anything.
Not the average, from every semester. There are some companies which also look at average, but most of the engineering companies will look at throughout. And secondly, in Mumbai, getting a first class, it was very, very difficult. So just to tell you,
first class is
60%. Yes. So the topper in Mumbai University, when I graduated, had 71%.
Okay.
So that's what we are talking about. So distinction is 70%. So probably a handful of people would have got distinction. But getting the first class itself was not very easy. So obviously that filtering criteria is very strict. And even after that, it doesn't mean that all the people with first class will get a job.
Right.
And that is where the original struggle started. And that I did not have a campus placement. So I went to an employment agency or a placement agency.
So there was it's a government run agency?
It's a private one.
So it's more like a consulting.
Yes. So they are like recruiters. What they call as recruiters today, which is a more fancy term.
But this is like, here we have this consulting companies, right?
Exactly.
Not consulting. This they find job.
They're recruiters. Basically, they're recruiters who can either get
have some point industries, and they will send your profiles, and then
correct.
and then you ask some commission.
Exactly. So this is exactly how it started. In those days, it was called placement agency. So I went there, and fortunately for me,
So you give your resume, and then
so I had to print my resume. I went there, I gave my resume. Fortunately, he already had a requirement from some company. It was not a big company, it was a very small company, which did fabrication for pollution control equipment.
and the food didn't say said something for like
No. So I'll tell you what my first project was. So when I joined, their client, the company that I joined, it's again a consulting company. When I say consulting, it's a small company which does turnkey projects for larger companies. So they had a client. If you have heard of this name, it's called Ispat Industries. So Ispat Industries is a steel company. It also used to be called Nippon Denro Ispat in those days. So this company will get the iron ore, and then from the iron ore they will manufacture steel. So this process they use something, I don't remember what compound they use. Basically that pollutes the environment. So if you ever been to any iron ore place, you might have seen the water is all red because of the ferrous oxide, right? So but for that iron it interacts with some chemical, and that chemical, once it is done, it needs to pass through the pollution control equipment. So that is the pollution control equipment that we were supposed to first figure out what are the requirements and then deliver for that client. And that's what my first.
But isn't it more chemical?
No, it is a fabrication, so it's manufacturing. So it's a fabrication. You're just manufacturing something like this, like let's say it's like a hopper. There is a.
So on the physical property of ore, you're going to actually.
Yes. So I had to travel to the client place, and it was a very difficult place because steel industries are not in the middle of nowhere.
Industry or the
Steel company.
Oh.
I could see these huge iron ore piles, and all the water was red all over the place. You had to walk in. You can't wear normal shoes. You have to wear the safety shoes, the helmets, and that's when it hit you that this is not something that I want to do all the time. Right? Because what you want to do is what I did as part of my internship. So as part of my internship in 4th year of engineering, I worked in this company called Chicago Pneumatic. So Chicago Pneumatic Tools is a company which is a US based company which manufactures all these tools which are used to drill and dig on the roads. So they manufacture those compressors, they manufacture those drilling tools, and
they do the design also for.
They do the design, and that's what the whole manufacturing. That's when I actually saw the first CNC machine. So my idea of a job was something on the shop floor, not going to some remote places for some breathing problems. So when you go to these industrial zones, the air is actually not fit for breathing. If you are not adjusted to that, your health could deteriorate very soon. That's when I decided to work for a few months, and I said enough is enough.
But you used to travel up and down regularly.
Yes,
was part of it. So.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you have to be on the client side, not every day, but very frequent.
That's how far is it from?
It is 3 to 4 hours from where I live.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it's just that you don't get good food. You have to eat all the street food because otherwise you have to get into the cafeteria, which is quite some far away. It's not the office, right? It's not like an office job. It's actually what you see in those big mines. It's not a mine, but it's lots of equipment all over the place, and all these
How long for this time? I mean, how much year or months did you work?
So I worked for 3 or 4 months, I don't remember, and then I said, I'm not doing this, and I need to look for something which is more
Suitable for you.
suitable and not adversely affecting my health. Yeah, okay. So that's when I took a break. I decided to prepare for my MBA, and then I seriously spent 7 months, 8 months studying. I tried the CAT. It didn't work out for me, but then I tried the CET, after which I was able to get into a very good college in Mumbai, and that's where I did my MBA. So this college,
Which was your specialty or what?
so
It also has a lot of flavors, right?
yeah, so again, because I had this bias towards mechanical engineering, I picked operations. So we had 4 choices at that time. We had marketing, finance, IT or systems, I think it used to be called. There was a 5th one called human resources, and then operations. So I picked operations again out of choice. It was not something that
Operations is, I mean, we discussed this also before. What I understand is also the standardization of how the activities will happen from the resource point of view, right?
it is everything. When you look at operations, again, in
The
those
finance is more to do with the money and account.
yeah, so in those days, so first thing is what the college that I graduated from, it's Narsee Monjee Institute of Management Studies. It's in the top 50 colleges, right? But Narsee Monjee had 2 separate courses at that point of time. One is the government course, which I opted for. It's also called the Masters in Management Studies. So the syllabus is designed by the government or the university, and then they have something called as an autonomous course, which is also called PGDBA, which is Postgraduate Diploma in Business Administration. So if you hear this correctly, one is actually a master's, which means I can look, the other one is a diploma. So if I want to do a PhD, right, I can't use the PGDBA. So now, but then I can officially be called, I am a master's, just like an MCom or MTech or so. But anyway, it was a university course. So university has a guideline, but then it also comes with its own constraints, right? So there is they will say that these are the only 5 options that are available, right? If you look at the MBA courses these days, you can mix and match, right?